ESPN is launching a new daily SportsCenter show called SC Plus that's premiering exclusively on the Disney Plus streaming platform starting this coming Monday, March 3rd. Now, this isn't your traditional SportsCenter, and what will it look like then? Well, we have the show's weekday co-hosts, anchors Gary Striewski and Randy Scott, here to give us an inside look at what that might look like. Gary, Randy, thanks for joining the SBJ Sports Media Podcast, and in style, I might add, from the SportsCenter studios in Bristol.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's the first time we've done something like this out here in the studio. And it's ironic in a way because SC Plus will not look like this at all. We're not going to be sitting down. We're not going to be in one central location or anything like that. So in a way, it's like a great way to sort of show you what it's not going to be.
Yeah, I'm being told there's not going to be a desk Monday through Friday. So take a good look if you are into interior decor, because this is about the only time you're going to see the desk. And that's really, for a purpose. The show is going to be so fast moving, no commercials. It's 15 minutes of the best stuff we got, so you can catch it at any time of the day. It's going to be 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. But if you miss that time slot, because it is on Disney Plus, you can queue it up and run it back anytime.
I got a little advice for anybody who is going to sort of follow us. Listen, we hope to build a new audience on Disney Plus, but if you are a traditional SportsCenter viewer and you follow us over to Disney Plus, as we hope you do, because it is sort of on demand and it is our best, right? The best of the best. A lot of folks that we hear, and it's just anecdotally in our lives or on social media, they're like, hey, I never miss top plays. Mm-hmm. It's always before I leave for work, before I leave for school, before I hit the bus, whatever it is, I make sure to watch top plays. We are starting SC Plus with top plays. We're giving you our best from the jump. So if you think you're going to catch the end of it as we're live at 9 a.m. Eastern on March 3rd, you're like, yeah, I'll catch the last 5 minutes of the 15-minute window. No. You're going to miss what you would usually hold out for. So make sure to be there from the jump.
Yeah, so that is a pretty big formula switch. How has that felt, kind of that switch in terms of the flow during rehearsals so far?
I think it's good. I think especially for this next generation of consumer sports fans, I'm talking millennial and Gen Z, they don't want to wait around. They make fun of us for the millennial pause. Yeah. So we want to give them the goods right off top and sort of earn their trust that way, as opposed to building it up, and paying it off at the end. Yeah. If we prove to you that, oh, wait, this is what they're leading the show with, they're giving me the goods right off top, let me see what else we have. So in terms of standard format, what you might be used to in a traditional, as I'm using air quotes, SportsCenter format, it's different, but I don't think it's too different from how consumers right now prefer their content.
Yeah. If you hear or you see it in your timeline or whatever it is, like, hey, there's a sick dunk. Like our show today, we had one player from Norfolk State who had amazing dunks, and these dunks were sort of going viral last night and making the rounds. Like, it's going to be in top 10 and you want to see where it ranks. Like, we're not going to make you wait for that. Yeah. We're not going to make you wait for those highlights. We're going to bring it to you right away, and then also probably have a conversation with you, and one-sided through our screen, but we're going to have the conversation of where should they both have been? Because he had 2 top 10 worthy dunks. Where should they have been?
We showed his dunk 7 times in 44 minutes of on-air programming on this hour of SportsCenter.
Yeah.
So there's no commercial breaks in the show, 15 minutes straight. What's going to be the hook for the middle of the show to keep audiences around? And without a top 10, what might a closeout look like?
Gary and I had a debate. I don't know if it was on air. I lose track of what's on air and off air. But during the linear hour SportsCenter today, I was like, hey, the best grilled cheese is made with sourdough bread. And he was like, oh, that's too crusty.
Well, I'm just saying sometimes it's hard on the top of your mouth. Is what I'm saying, and it sort of takes away from the experience. And is all I said, Randy.
Yeah, and I'm not a shark like Gary, and I don't have teeth on the top of my mouth. I eat my sandwich like a normal person. But my thing to bring it back was just like a good grilled cheese, where you melt a slice of cheese on top of the sourdough bread, right? And it becomes one with the bread. We're starting with bread. We're starting the best of the best. We're almost giving you the frosting first, maybe, because that's the best part of the cake. That's another debate I will not have with Gary. But the meat then happens right after, Molly, to answer your question. You're very patient for waiting for it. Is we're going to give you our top stories. We're going to go, hey, top plays, and then 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 things that are tent poles for this circus that we're bringing to you. And then we're going to support the circus with, Brian Windhorst talking about what we can expect from Luka. Is Luka out for blood tonight, or is he saving it for Dallas? And then, how are the umpires reacting to automated balls and strikes? Hint, they don't like it. Or,
let's take a walk away.
Or whatever, how did Tiger do in TGL last night? Like, we're going to go so top plays, 1, 2, 3. This is the meat of the sandwich. And they give you a juicy little sourdough.
I mean, listen, unlike sourdough, we're not going to be crusty. All right. And what I mean by that is if we can't compile 15 minutes of awesome content, we're not doing our service and our promise to service sports fans anytime, anywhere. Trust us when we say we have the best of the best in the business working around the clock on this show. It's very cohesive in the Sports Center unit, even though SC Plus is its own entity. Obviously, we have such heritage with Sports Center that our behind the scenes operation, they are so good at not letting anything fall through the cracks. So I would say, Molly, to answer your question, from second 1 to minute 15, it's all going to be stuff that would generally lead a traditional Sports Center in that sense. So you're not going to want to miss any of it.
Well, I love that we're going down the grilled cheese, sourdough bread rabbit hole, but I'm going to pull us back up just for a little bit. You guys talked about the content and this, Gen Z, millennial, TikTok generation, whatever you want to call it, the content being tailored for that. How important is this sort of effort, what you guys are doing with SC Plus, in having this venerated Sports Center brand stay relevant for these up-and-coming sports fans?
So we get told a lot. Trust us, just go through our mentions.
My God. Yeah.
Sports Center back in the day was way better. And we're here to tell you, we like Sports Center from back in the day as well. I mean, that's obviously the people who paved the path for us to want to have this as an occupation.
Right.
That being said, there is an entire generation plus, which I'm talking millennials down to Gen Z, and now is it Gen Alpha, even younger than that?
Yeah.
Who have never had the ability or opportunity to experience those nostalgic sports centers, right? Those sports centers of the 90s, the legends, like the men and women who came before us. But they have to have a sports center to one day say, that's the sports center I grew up with.
Yeah, that was my sports center.
So I came up with Sports Center Snapchat initially with ESPN, and honestly, SC Plus reminds me so much of what that sports center was and became for an entirely untapped generation of sports fans. And I honestly think SC Plus can be that. And this show can be the one where people run into us in 5, 10, 15 years and say, wait a minute, I used to stream you guys before I got on the bus or before I went to class. And I think that's what we aspire to do, is be the sports center for the next generation.
I have 3 kids. I have a Roblox account, and I promise there's a point to this.
The Roblox account's Randy's.
Purely
3
recreational.
kids or just whatever.
Purely recreational. I love obbies. You have to meet your kids where they are. And I say that because you got to know what games they're playing. You got to know who they're talking to. You got to know, you meet your kids where they are. And we have to meet viewers and consumers where they are. If they are consuming ESPN, if they're consuming Sports Center on their devices, on their screens, on their tablets, on their phones, however it may be, we are not, what's the word here? Like we're losing, or at least missing, a potential audience by not going where they are. And that's being addressed by this SC Plus effort, is to go where there are sports fans. There are already live sports and have been on Disney Plus. Why would there not be the preeminent sports and news program that ESPN has had a flagship on since 1979? Why wouldn't there be that program on Disney Plus? It makes too much sense.
All right, fellas, last question. As mentioned, the show is on Disney Plus, not ESPN Plus right now. Correct. Obviously, not the first spot you're necessarily going to look for sports news. So, given the platform that's going to be on, are you anticipating, any Disney entertainment crossover in the show? Basically, I got to know, Chewbacca, Mufasa, Captain America, are they joining you on this show?
We can't give away all the goods. All I'm saying is there's a couple Marvel movies sort of in the pipeline. And are we going to jockey for position as extras? Yeah.
Obviously.
Are we probably going to get denied? Yeah, probably.
We need SAG cards.
It doesn't mean we're not going to try.
I thought you were going to say I don't want to give anything away when he asked if Mufasa is going to join us, because Mufasa is deceased.
Ooh.
Right, so Mufasa can't.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Exposing myself on the Lion King knowledge.
No. But to that point, though, I hope so. I mean, I hope so. As I'm, going to Disney. I'm taking my kids to Disney World in spring break.
I honestly think, truth be told, the short answer is yes, because we already experienced so much synergy just being ESPN as a linear cable company, and having obviously being a family member of Disney. So now actually being platformed on Disney Plus specifically. Yes, I would say short answer, yes. I don't know what's in the works, to be honest with you. We really have not been made privy of any of that information. But yeah, we're right there. It makes sense.
And Disney Plus has had such success since its launch. I would hope that any measure of that would rub off on us or be included with us and with this effort. That is a hope, right? That we would be as successful as Disney Plus has been.
Well, no disrespect to Simba there. Sorry, Simba. Didn't mean to stir up any bad memories.
Yeah.
But lots of IP, obviously, to work with there. Well, the new show is SC Plus. It's launching on Disney Plus on Monday, March 3rd. Gary Striewski, Randy Scott are going to be your weekday co-anchors. Fellas, thanks for laying it all out for us today, and good luck with the show's launch.
All right, Molly, Austin, thank you guys.